Moving on to model construction. So let's start with pit excavation. As I said in the first part of the video, this example has two stages, one excavation stage and one stage which is actually the placement of a buttress. I've selected the STL, as you can see here. I've entered 5,000 additional steps. Now this is something that you may want to change in order to make your model runs faster, but if you want to reduce it from the 5,000 steps, it may take a few runs to find out how many steps you need in order to achieve equilibrium. Okay, so let's leave it as the 5,000. I've got a stage as an immediate excavation, so if I deselect this, you can see the gradual excavation option comes up and you have a distance that you can apply. This allows the pit to be, or the stage to be excavated in sections to give it a better chance to come to equilibrium. I'm going to deselect that and put it onto immediate excavation. You can opt to include the strength reduction calculation or not. Here I'm going to include it, and I've chosen a minimum densification just to get the run to go relatively quickly. You can actually choose between 4 levels of densification. At a minimum densification, SlopeX actually calculates the number of zones based on slope height that's required to resolve a reasonable factor of safety. If you want a more accurate factor of safety, then you should increase the level of densification from intermediate even up to maximum. This will obviously result in a longer runtime. And the densification distance is the distance behind the slope over which you want this densification to occur. You can choose to include a groundwater table independently for each stage, and this next selection here I'll go on to as part of the next stage. So stage 2 is all pretty much the same. We have a minimum densification again, but there's a 0 densification distance here, and here I've actually selected the waste dump option. So this allows the more Coulomb parameters to appear, and I've put some generic more Coulomb properties in there for the buttress material. Going on to the pre-mining topography. Here we do have a topography, so I've selected that, and again I've selected the topo file. In here you can also select a groundwater table if you wish, and the area of interest is an area in which you have a higher density mesh. Here we have one on one side of the pit. Again, I've selected that area of interest, and here I've chosen that it's a pit slope. You can have it as a closed volume instead, in which case you specify the specific edge length within that closed volume. But here obviously it's a pit slope. You can have a surface as well, so pit slope, and there's a distance behind, and you specify a distance behind this over which you want the densification to occur.